Invincible saved the superhero genre. At least he helped save it, because the show, in the middle of superhero fatigue, offered a change of pace. It offered fresh air that the genre desperately needed. The unpredictability and rawness is a trend that other adaptations have mimicked since its success. However, Invincible, with Mark as a character, has done it the best. And here's why. Why is it even important that we have a character like Invincible in the superhero genre? I think superhero fatigue called for this character. I think it called for this entire show. For so long, we were locked up in the same formula with adaptations so afraid to take a risk. Every Marvel movie felt the same. Every DC movie felt like it was missing the bar. But in Invincible, the entire show is a risk. In episode 1, the show absolutely disregards the necessity to keep main characters around. But what this show has maybe proved the most is that it thrives in telling its story through loss. It doesn't mind building its character by having him peel himself off the pavement time and time again. I'd argue it's the most interesting thing about Mark. But if you're asking social media, you'll get a different answer.
I'm sick of Mark losing in Invincible.
He loses a lot.
He loses everything.
And why is your name Invincible, but everybody banging your up?
And if you feel this way, I can't tell you that your feelings are invalid, because we've been fed the protagonist winning fight after fight for so long. But there's a gritty rawness to the way these losses affect Mark. Different from Batman and Bane, different from Spider-Man and Gwen, different in the way that I've never seen anything like the Conquest fight.
I am so lonely.
The whole episode is something that everyone marvels at. The story has found a way to subvert our expectations that we have had with the formula of superhero stories. But that's the common trend, because I've never seen anything like the father fighting a son in this way either. I've never seen tragedy that mind numbs a character quite like the way Angstrom did for Mark. And it has a purpose. These experiences have shifted Mark's ideology repetitively. The psychology teachers call it the paradigm shift.
Yo man, what's a paradigm shift?
In short, a paradigm shift happens when a person experiences something so dramatic that it fundamentally can change your perspective. Like a heartbreak making you see things differently. Or eating pizza for the first time and never looking back.
Are you serious? You gonna kill me over some pizza?
Yes.
The point is that these losses have built Mark towards that so many times.
I can't do it. I have to get better. I didn't want to kill him. I had to.
What does that do to a hero's psyche, to a person's psyche, when they lose so much, when they're forced to do so much? And Mark doesn't just lose a fight, he loses his dad, his way of life, his entire childhood was told it was a lie. What separates this show from others in the genre is how we get to see Mark's life in the real world, removed from the sky and placed on the ground. Sure, Spider-Man has told a tale in its own way like this before, but Mark carries so much weight with him while he's on the ground. Seeing how it affects every relationship, every simple life decision that just can't be placed in front of saving Earth from his Viltrumite species. Seeing Mark's ideology change and grow season to season has become one of my favorite things. From season 1 of wanting to be heroic like Omni-Man, to season 2 of trying to be anything except Omni-Man, to season 3 of trying his hardest not to kill, only to end up feeling like he has no other choices.
Anyone else ever puts my family or anyone I love at risk, I won't hesitate to kill them.
The show bends his character in every way possible, and has allowed for such a wide range of character shifts that you just don't get in any other superhero adaptation. Most heroes' identity and sticking to that identity is what usually defines them. Cap and a good man, Spider-Man and his responsibility, but Mark's shifting in his ideology and morality after every crazy battle is what has made him one of the more interesting superhero characters of the decade. But he's not the only one that makes this show as great as it is. Invincible never has really boiled down to one character or person. It's spanned between so many different heroes of different backgrounds and different ideologies. I mean, you take a character like Cecil, no powers, and you make him one of the more interesting people in the entire superhero genre. I love the way him and Mark interact with one another. The ongoing moral dilemma that's between the two is the perfect breath of fresh air from the chaos of seeing blood splattered on the ground from fight to fight. He's not your basic guy in the chair, but someone who pushes the balance of what can be considered morally correct. And not just the characters on screen that he interacts with, but also to the viewers that are watching the decisions be made.
We can be the good guys, or we can be the guys that save the world. We can't be both.
I love what Debbie has added to Mark's character. I don't know how many superhero shows I go into expecting the mom of a protagonist to be such a foundational piece in that person's story, but Debbie is the forever linking piece to what makes Mark human. And the villains add a layer of depth that really can't be compared to any other show. I mean Conquest. Conquest is his own uniqueness, but it's the way that he's made, the way he's a subverting and unexpected character beneath the heavy punches that we saw Mark get delivered.
Conquest. I don't even get a real name. Some days I feel so alone I could cry, but I don't.
And this show lives on the unexpected. And talking about unexpected, Rex is the cover poster of what this show can do with the people it has in it. The side characters that you hated in one season becoming your favorite in the next. And it's not just about development or growth because we've seen that before. It's not just about sacrifice because we've seen that before. But if I'm gonna pause for a sec, then Sacrifice did make a great story.
My entire skeleton.
But what pops off the screen is how these characters didn't really want to be heroes in the first place. The cost that comes with being heroic means not being normal. Going from Rex, Ray is the first on the list. She understood the cost and wanted to get out, but somewhere inside the heroic nature pulled her back in. It's something that makes us ask if we would be heroic enough to do it as well. We see it in Mark, constantly trying to dance between being the hero Earth needs, but also a brother, a love interest, and a son. But some never had that decision. Eve was told she had to be a hero, was raised like a lab experiment gone wrong, and wasn't applauded for it but was shunned for it by her father.
You can't do this hero bullshit on your own.
It's the way she still gets up and fights, what many of us lack the courage to do. Fighting after having a broken leg and concussion and still showing up for a battle. Invincible never has boiled down to one character, but it has and often does boil down to the characters that make the plot and story so entertaining. And it's why Invincible has helped save the superhero genre.